everyone, welcome back. Look what I've got. So Let's Resin has kindly sent me the new electric resin mixer master and some new molds. Oh, let's open this one first. So this is the crystal ball resin molds, and we've got, I'll pop the pictures up on the screen so you know what they sort of look like. So the first one is the one with all the mushrooms, and then this one is the one with the, I think it's a budgie, but it could be a cockatiel as well, or a parrot. And we've got something there. It might be on the outside. Anyway, so I think tonight we're going to actually do this one. But before we do that, let's have a look at the other things. So I'll pop that one out of the road, and then this one is the new, what are they called? It's not here. Yes, it is. So this is the Let's Resin Yoga Turtle resin molds. And look at these little dudes. Oh, aren't they cute? So they're like little turtles, little yoga turtles. They've got their little shells. That one looks like he's praying. Oh, I don't know if you can see their faces. They're so cute. Oh, I can't wait to use them. But we'll do these ones next. We're going to do those ones. And we're also going to check out the new awesome mixer. So I'm going to go and get some of my Let's Resin, epoxy resin together so we can start on these guys. And we're going to review the mixer while I do that. So I'll see you soon. So what's in the box? So you get your little instruction manual. Well, not little, quite in depth. Your cord, your mixer, 2 paddles, and then you get your little frame, which is so easy to put together. It's just a matter of one click and it's in. And it's got a little adjustment knob and a little silica mat for easy cleaning. And you get 2 paddles and they just clip in like that, which is so easy. It's got your on-off switch, which is also the control for your fan, speed level, forward and back button, a timer button, and an AI function, which of course I've already charged this with the cable that it comes with, and so easy to use. And if you use the AI function, it beeps after 4 minutes, which is awesome. But you can set the time to what time you want. But I just use the AI function because it's so easy. It's got a big screen, easy to turn on. Just hold that. And because it's on AI function, it just does it automatically. It remembers the settings. So this is the fan. Oh, the speed level. So that's easy. This is changes the direction, forwards or back. This button is your timer. So you can change that all the way up to, I think it was 15 minutes if you want to. Don't know why you'd need to mix that long, but that's your option. Or you've got your AI, which is 4 minutes. And then it bips after 4 minutes when it's done, which is so easy. But during the 4 minutes, it'll change direction. So I'll just turn that off. Hold it a bit longer. Just pop it in your little bit there. Change it to whatever level you want it. Turn it on, AI function, and your resin is mixed. So it's so super easy. Super easy to clean, just with a baby wipe. Love it. So let's mix up some resin, shall we? And I'll show you how it works. So I thought we'd start with the mushroom mould. And I've seen a couple of other people do it, but of course I want to do it way differently. Give you guys some ideas. Like, I've got so many going around in my head, it's unbelievable. So what I thought I'd do, I was going to brush the mushrooms and the little leaves and things with some mica powder, but I keep changing my mind because I've seen other people do that. So I want to give you something totally different, something that'll totally blow your mind. We're going to put something 3D in it. So I thought, what goes with mushrooms? And I thought, how about a fairy? So I got out this little fairy. And if you saw I did a Froggy Friday frog a little while ago with fairy in it, and a little scene with mushrooms, and she was awesome, so cute. So I thought I'd go on that theme, but we'll just step it up a notch, of course. So this little fairy, she's got her wings, but they're a little bit plain Jane for me. And I got in some new glitter from Temu, and it was a 2-pack. And oh, there's the other one. It's hiding from me. So I got this awesome glitter in from Temu. Comes in a 2-pack. So I thought we'd use this one on our fairy just to make her wings more fairy-like. So I've got out my tack-it glue, and we're going to paint that on the wings, sprinkle them with glitter, just to glitterify our little fairy. And we're also going to give her some of these little mushrooms. So we'll make her like sitting on a little mound of grass. So I've got out my grass, which is just some of that fake sort of grass that people use when they're building like little mini scenes. And I've got out some little flowers. So we'll add that to our little scenery. And I wanted to actually have like a background in there, in our little magical fairyland. So I found these bits of paper. So I just need to decide what's going to be our sort of backing scenery for our little fairy in her little resin crystal ball. Just total mind blank with the crystal ball tonight. Can't get that out. So yeah, so I'm going to have to pick a paper, cut it in a circle so that it will fit in our little mould. Then I'll seal it. And I've got an awesome new sealing method or technique, which doesn't use glue, because I hate doing the glue thing. And this is awesome, but I've got a video coming out very soon, so stay tuned. You're going to love it. It's just so easy and makes life simple, and it works. So I'm going to seal that. So we're going to have our little scene in there, and then we're going to just jazz her all up with her little mushrooms that are real. And we're going to make it a light, but there's just so many possibilities, like a snow globe in there as well, or yeah, whatever. So I just want to give you something different, so it's just not like pouring some glitter in there and putting a light on it, which is boring. Let's do something awesome. All right, so let me clean up this, get my resin ready. I'll have my paper cut out and sealed, and then we'll get to it. So we'll see you soon. So I have got my tack glue, and I've just given the wings 2 coats, 2 light coats on the front. So I did 1 coat, waited for it to dry, did another coat. Now I was watching someone and they mix their tacket like 50% glue, 50% water. I don't know what the point of that is. I've tried that and it takes twice as long to dry, so I just use the glue. So now that that has dried, I'm going to try and open my glitter. And just going to sprinkle that on. And I've just got some paper down just so I can catch the excess. And then you can rub that in or leave it like that, just depending on your preference. Ooh, that looks so much better. It's more fairy-like, isn't it? Love it. Hopefully you can see that. Let's give it a tap, get the excess off. I'm going to pop all that back in my container. So I'm going to do the same with the back. Not that we'll probably see it, but just to finish the look. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to rub it in. I think I'll just leave it that look. But if you rub it in, you sort of get that sort of shiny look, but I think I want to go for that glitter look. Just make sure that's all off. So I'll come back when that's complete and we'll get on to the next stage. So I finished my little fairy's wings and I ended up burnishing the glitter on because I thought, oh, it may come off and we don't want that in our clear resin. I've sealed my paper and we'll touch more on that in another video, which is going to be awesome. Got all my bits here that we may or may not use. Now I did change my mind and I ended up brushing on I think it was some of it's chrome mica powder. It just was a cheapy set from Temu. Generally I do my brushing on with a sponge. I just find for me that's easier than a brush. So before anyone goes jumping on there, hi Horse Mary, just do things what suits you. And I find a sponge, like a makeup sponge, easier than a brush. But if a brush works for you, use a brush. But also, if you've got to add a little, I call it a little dabber or dauber. This is the smallest size I've got. So when I finished off doing my mushrooms and everything, how I do it, I'm sorry, I had to do it off camera because my eyesight is terrible. So I dab or daub, dab my dabber in the powder, then sort of push quite hard, tap off any excess. And then I sort of hold it on an angle so it generally doesn't go poof everywhere, but it generally won't with a dauber. And then I just brush it on. And there's less cleanup that way. But if you've got a small one, they work a treat in all these little fine details. I just don't have a smaller one for these, so I did it with one of these. Then to clean up, I use one of these as well. So it's a matter of dipping it into isopropyl alcohol, dabbing off your excess liquid, wipe a couple of times, then always wipe the excess off onto a paper towel and then go back in. So you can see, not too bad, the cleanup. Probably a couple of little bits still that I need to do. It's a great effect, however, very time consuming, very messy. I also cleaned off all the outside with excess loose powder, because then I find it's easy to see when you are cleaning up. You might think there's a mark in there, but it's on the outside. So I like to keep it clean on the outside after I've finished the inside. Just makes it easier for your cleanup. But I'm not going to be too pedantic about the mushrooms, because once we're done, I sort of want to go over the details with my acrylic paint pens. So I'm going to clean up this mess and go and mix some resin for our next stage. So I'll see you then. So I found a mould to sit my little mushroom ball thing. Oh my god, total mind blank. This one, you know what it is. So I've decided that I sort of want my little fairy to be seen through this array of mushrooms. So I want my background, to go in there, but I need a little flat surface. So we're going to pour some resin and prop it up like this, and then pour some resin. So hopefully I can get it back how it was, so it was nice and level. And of course it doesn't want to do that now. But that's it. I think something like that. Anyway, we'll sort that in a sec. So I thought I'd show you the mixer while I'm fiddling with that. So you just turn it on, a couple of seconds. Now it is going to go. I'll turn it off again because it's set on AI. So when I turn it back on, it has a memory, so it'll just come back onto AI. So you've got your forward, backward. That's your timer. As I said before, you can go from 1 to 15. Hopefully you can see all this. Don't know why you'd want it on 15 minutes, but anywho. And then you've got your AI function, which I like because it'll go in like forwards, then it'll go backwards, and it bips when it's ready. It does that too on the timer button. So yeah, it just charges with your USB. When you press this is your speed. So yeah, it's just on or off. So when I turn it back on, it's 2 seconds. It's on AI. So yeah, it just comes back like that. So I'll just turn it off again, because you want to make sure your paddle's wet, like in your resin, before you turn it on. So it's just a matter of popping it in. Hopefully you can see that. It sits in there so easy. Show your cups where you want it. Make sure that's locked in. You can go up or down with your little knob. I'm just going to leave it down. And then I'm just going to turn my AI on. Oops, turn it on and off, I mean. No, I'll get it right in a minute. And that's it, hands-free. So the instruction manual does come in a few other languages, but it's just so basic. See me put it together. I've just showed you all what it does. Charging time is 3 to 4 hours. So yeah, it's very self-explanatory. There is some little, hints and tricks. So yeah, awesome. And I love the colour. So I love it. Thank you so much. That's resin. So let me see if I can get that where I want it. So yeah, I think about there. Fairy's going to go there. I'll just check that my level's level. Yeah, so I don't want too much in there, so I'm just going to pour it basically until it just comes to the edge so it doesn't tip over. And I've got my paper, and I don't know if I told you it is double-sided because I didn't want white, showing on the back. But more about that in another video. I'll show you how to seal paper. That paper is actually really thin paper. It was just from Temu, so yeah. So I'll let this just keep going, but yeah, it's super quiet. I'll come back when it's finished mixing. So I'll see you then. So just shush back out a bit. Hamlet or what? Okay, so I had it round the wrong way, didn't I? Gosh, hopeless. It just pulls out. Careful doing that because anything like me, a bit clumsy, you'll knock it for 6. So basically, I'll just stick that back in there so it's out of the road. Got a little drainy mat. Drain it on something. I'm just going to use my fingers because it's easier. And basically, just going to give it a clean. Our baby wipe. And give it a bit of a spray. You have got one of those little, like these jobbies, these things. You can just drain it, or you can drain it in your piece, but I don't want to do that. Now, I hadn't mixed up more because for something else, so you only want a little bit in our actual crystal ball. That's the word I'm looking for, crystal ball. Gosh, I don't know why I can't remember that. Oh, anywho, let's just do our sides. So I'm going to pop this in the vacuum chamber, and I'll come back when it's ready to pour. So I'll see you then. Okay, so I've just got my mould propped up. So I think I want this as the front so we can see the fairy here. And I'm just going to pop my little scenery in just to see where I want it. So I've got my resin just mixing up at the moment, a clear. And I did actually pour a little bit in here, but I forgot to press record, so sorry about that. Okay, so I sort of need it to come up. I need to pour some more resin in here, and we need it to come up about there. So what I've got a piece of acetate, and I'm going to actually attach it on here. I need to see where I want it. So I'm just going to do it about halfway. Just pop this out. Move this over here. And I just want to fix my powder because fiddling with it, I've sort of knocked some marks. So make sure that's all okay. Quickly before I do that, I'm just going to drain my paddle. Okay. Also got to be careful not to dislodge that resin that's already set in there. Looks good. So I want it about here. I've just got a scrap piece of acetate. I'm just going to hot glue that. Hopefully this will stay. Because pouring resin like this, it's going to come out. So you don't want it to come out. So I want a flat surface. Okay. Hopefully, I'm going to actually wait for that to dry, and then I'll do another layer of glue. Okay, just let that dry. I'm just going to go and put my resin in the debubbler. Okay, I just got out a silicone pan, just in case this doesn't work and it leaks. Get this level. That's good. Check. Yep, perfect. Just in case I have a leakage, I'll catch it in here. Put my resin. On the level. Okay. I'm just going to pour my resin on my stick to get it down there. I'm not going to use my paddle pop stick because it's not coated, and by running it down on an uncoated stick I'll just incorporate more bubbles. So it's fine to use a paddle pop stick doing this, but you want to make sure that it's sealed in resin. Okay, I'll just see how we've done that. I'll put my little clip. Okay. I think I need some more memory. A little spritz. That looks like the acetate's holding up, so that's good. Oop, I think we still need a little bit more. And hopefully I can get my bit of sealed paper in here without sludging the acetate. So I may have put it up a bit high. I can always cut some off, hopefully. Hopefully that's enough. That'll spray. Now, perfect. Probably put a bit too much resin in now, but if I can sink it. Just pushing it down. I know you can't see properly. Just pushing my bit of paper down. Little bubbles trapped under there, unfortunately. But it will be the back. So I was going to put my fairy in now, but I think I might. Because there should be enough resin for it to stick. Yeah. Okay, let's try that. Ooh. If I can get it in. Let's give her a bit of a spritz. We could drip some resin on it too. I'll try it like this. Yay. Okay. She sit. That's good. One of her, part of her wing is stuck there. So that's awesome. I think I've got her where I want her. All right, well, I'm going to come back when this has cured and we're ready for the next layer. So I'll see you then. Okay, so it's the next day. This is cured. Now I did, while I was babysitting it, I actually popped in some mushrooms. So hopefully you can see that. This is now cured, so we're going to take our acetate off. So I'll just get this mould out of the road. Okay, so I'm going to carefully take this off without dislodging what's in there. So it should just come off fairly easily. That's it. So hopefully you can see that. So this mushroom, it's got like a little wire thing, so I'm going to cut that off. Let's get my little snips. Yeah, looking good. Now, I'm going to mix up some resin, and on these moulds of Let's Resin, it lets you know how much resin you need. And can I read it? Yeah. Oh, where is it? It says 13.4 fluid ounces. Okay, so I have used, where's my little notes? I've used about 3.5 ounces. So, it should take about 10 to fill it. Now, I'm not sure if you'd noticed, but with these moulds, I've got like a line all the way around halfway. So what that is if you haven't got a deep pour resin to, fill this in one go, then if you're using your epoxy or something like that, you only want to fill it halfway, and then that should be, the safe amount for it to not flash cure. So even though I've got, already some in there, and I've got my fairy, so I'm thinking I could fill this up a little bit further, hopefully, than that line. But just to be safe, I'm not. So I'm going to make up 5 ounces, and hopefully that, should take us to the halfway mark. So that's the next step. So I'm going to go and mix up my clear Let's Resin, epoxy resin, and pour it in. So I'll see you soon. Okay, so I've ended up making up 6 ounces of my Let's Resin epoxy, only because I've got another project on the go. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pop my little paddle in here, and I'm just going to run my resin down my stick, and that'll just stop, a lot of the splashes, and hopefully not, well, it will reduce the amount of bubbles, because I'm not pouring it from, up high along string, if you know what I mean. So we basically just want to come up to that halfway mark. And we could probably get away with going just a bit over it, because we've already got the resin and the fairy in the crystal ball. But we don't want to do it too full, because it's not a deep cast resin, and we want any micro bubbles to be able to have that chance to escape. So let's see where we are with our level. Okay, so I'm just over that mark now. So that was about just over 3.5 ounces. And we also don't want that line from when we pour our next lot of resin. So we're going to try and do that when this is tacky. So I'm going to cover this up, and I will come back when we're ready to pour the next layer. So I'll see you then. Okay, so it's been a few hours, and I've just made up 6 ounces of resin. No, actually, I've made up 4 ounces of resin. We have about just over 6 to go to fill it, probably. So I'm thinking I want to sort of do it around the feet level, because then the next layer I want to put some, you know, rocks and grass and flowers, that sort of thing in. So I've just got my resin out of vacuum chamber, and it's Let's Resin Epoxy 1:1. So nice straight forward pour this time. So we're just to the tips of the feet now. So that's probably a good level to leave her, because we want to do some grass and this and that. So I'm going to leave it there to set up or get tacky. Come back and then we'll put some things in, because if I put them in now, they might sink down to that halfway level that we did before, and we don't want that. So I'll see you guys for the next layer very soon. So we're back to do the last stage of our little fairy crystal ball lamp. So I thought I'd put some little stepping stones down. I've got these little wood pieces. I'm not sure where I got them from. But because they're raw, I need to coat them in UV, just so they don't give off any bubbles. So I've just got some of my Sana UV resin. I'll just put it in a cup. Basically just going to paint it on. I've just got a little brush. You can just get it out of the bottle, like straight out of the bottle, pour it on if you want to, whatever, however you want to do it. So I'm just going to cure it on this little patty pan that's silicone. Got a pack of them. I find them quite handy as like little mixing cups, or putting things on them to cure them with the UV. Yeah, they're very handy. And I've also got out my little quartz crystals, because I want to put them around the fairy, like she's sitting on a nice little crystal forest that she's found. And we've got some flowers, and maybe put a little bit of grass. I was going to put a lot of grass, but then I thought, oh, I want the light to come through. But we've got this part here that's fully encased, so the light's going to penetrate through that anyway, and then reflect the light around the sides. So I don't want to put too much grass in anyway. And I've also found some of this diatric film, or window film, or cellophane. So I've just been cutting that up, because I thought that'd be nice to give like an aurora effect with the light when we do our last layer of clear glittery resin. Well, it's not going to be glittery. I'm just going to put some diamond dust in it, because we've got to have a little bit of sparkle. So I'll just speed this up, but just going to basically coat halfway around the side and then cure it. And keep going until it's all done. Okay, so now to decide where we want everything. So I'm just going to basically put a little bit of UV down. So I don't want to put too much, just in case my light won't penetrate right through, because it's quite thick now. So I'm just going to want to put it just, you know, a little bit on the edge, I think. Just to hold it down a bit so it doesn't slide around once we put our resin in. want to put one under her feet. Yeah, I'll do it that way, I think. You could always glue this down. But I want to have it so that the resin's going to get under, not touch the side, because we don't want a gap. I'm just going to have to position this carefully. And I'm making a mess, gosh. Yep, Butterfingers tonight. And clean up that. Okay, I'm going to actually get some glue because it's slipping all over the place and I'm worried that I'm going to knock my powder off. Let me just wipe up this mess. Get rid of all my little smearies. So I'm not going to put it on a feet. I might do a rock. We'll do the little path. Let's get this. So this is just a little, you know, your prescription glasses cloth that you get in your glasses case. And get rid of any little smearies. Okay. Just going to use a spot of super glue. Much quicker, I think. So just put a little dot on her feet. Did that even come out? Yeah, sticking. I'm going to do the same with all these. Just so I've got her sitting on a mound of crystals. Just had an idea. Where are they? Let's see if we've got some actual crystals. Crystal points. Don't stick to my glove. Oh my god. Oh, I'm making a hectic mess here. So back for our last layer. And so far we've used up 10.5 ounces, and this mould is supposed to take 13.4, but we have put our fairy in and all our little bits and pieces, so it shouldn't take this 3 ounces, but Just thought I'd make up 3 because it'd be easier. So I've just mixed it up with my Let's Resin hands-free mixer, and I'm just doing my sides and my bottom. And I think I'm going to put a little bit of diamond dust because we just have to have a little bit of sparkle. And I'm not going to put the grass in because I'm just going to go for that, you know, fairy tale look with crystals and flowers. And so we've got our fairy, so we don't need grass. Where's my little spoon? So I'm just going to put about a flat spoon, my little micro spoon. Hopefully you can see that. This stuff does go everywhere. And make sure, I'll just pop a little bit more in because I don't think I've got much in my cup at all then. Make sure you're wearing your mask when you use your metallic diamond dust. Okay. Up there it is. It's all on the side of the cup. Cup must be really staticky. Let's see if I can get that off. So I'm going to pop this in the vacuum chamber. So I'll go and do that. And then I'll come back when I'm ready to pour. So I'll see you soon. That's come out nice and clear and sparkly. So I found these when I was hunting around all my little bits and pieces. And they're just like little teeny tiny rhinestones. They're the AB ones. Not flat backs, they're like actual little diamonds. So we sort of all know, well, unless you're a beginner here, when you put faceted rhinestones, that sort of thing, in your resin, you lose your facets. But because these AB ones have got that AB in it, which is Aurora Boreas, so those nice little colours, like a rainbow, if you put them in resin, you you just see the colours, if you know what I mean. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pour a little bit of resin in because I don't want to mix these into my resin, incorporate more bubbles. So I'll give this a little spritz and we'll just slowly pour some resin in because we want to get into all our little bits and pieces and under our rocks. I'm just going to do a nice thin little coat. And I'm just going to sort of give that a roll around just to make sure it gets into all the little nooks and crannies. And just pop a little bit more in. A couple of our little flowers are moving around, but that's okay. As long as there's a few of them stay down there. Stay stuck down, I should say. That's the main thing. Okay. Let's just sprinkle some of these in. Hopefully they'll fall into the little gaps, which is where our light's going to shine through. Hopefully. Now, you guys know me, I always change my mind. So, I don't know if I'm going to put in my window film. What do you guys reckon? So I've cut up my little bits and pieces. Whoops, there goes some. So, I think I will put some in now. Alright, let's just add a few little bits. Generally, I stir that into my resin, but I don't want to incorporate any bubbles. And hopefully our light will go through those little bits of our dichroic film or window glass, whatever you want to call it. Now this stuff, it looks awesome if it has a black background, but we don't want a black background, otherwise we won't be able to, the light won't be able to get through it. Okay, I think that should be enough. So I'm just going to fill it right up now. I'm just going to let that sit and just push down any film that's sticking up. See, in that film it sort of looks green, like grass as well, so little bits pink, so I might actually put a few more little pieces in. And basically that's all I'm going to do now until demold, which I'm super excited about. So hopefully this works. What do you guys reckon? Think it's going to look pretty? Or do you think it's going to be a big fail? I don't know. Hopefully it turns out pretty. Alright. Well, I'm just going to fill this up, babysit it for a little while, and then cover it up, and then I'll see you guys in the morning. It's just about full now, so what did we use? Oh, only an ounce and a half, so that's alright. But it will need a little bit of a top up. Just want to let it sort of settle into all the little nooks and crannies where it has to go. Make sure my film's all pushed down. Alright, I'll see you guys in the morning. So it's the next day and this has cured. Ooh, what do you think, guys? Do you think it's going to be pretty? Let's get it out, hey? Now there will be a little bit of trimming to do. And I think I'm going to get out my acrylic paint pens and just to highlight some of the details. Okay. I'm going to loosen this up a bit. Just trying to break that seal of suction that all moulds get. Okay. Just going to try and roll it down, which it is. Seems to be nice and stretchy. Now you could use soapy water to do this, or your alcohol. I'm just going to keep rolling it down. Okay, here it comes. Let's quickly turn this back the right way. Okay, are we ready? Which way does it go? This way. All right, here we go. Oh, I'm nervous. Ready? Oh, wow. That looks awesome. Now she is off-centered, but I knew she would be because of her wings. But it's like 3D'd her. Oh my gosh. Hopefully you can see that. Nice and clear. Got a slight little line there where I filled it halfway. It's not really noticeable. There's our little scenery that we can see from the back. You can just see it if you look through that way. It's not very distinct, but you can't see my hand through it, which is what I wanted. And we can see our little bits and pieces. Hopefully you can see down in there. I can see the little stepping stones and flowers. So shall we put it on the light and see what it looks like? Okay, so just warn you now, it's probably going to be really bright. Okay, we ready? Here we go. Ooh, so pretty. Oh, she's gorgeous. What do you guys think? I think she's awesome. I'll just turn off this big ring light and see what the difference is. Is that better? Oh, there's pretty colours coming through. Oh, she's awesome. Didn't get many bubbles in it, which is good. Notice one right there. Okay, let me just turn this off. Turn this light back on. So I want to do some trimming. And I just want to highlight some of my mushrooms. Put some little white dots on. Oh, she's gorgeous. Oh, love her. All right, well, I'll come back when I've trimmed up and added some little bits of detail. So I'll see you guys then. So I've finished. So what I've done, I've added just some little white dots to my mushrooms, just with my acrylic paint pens. And I also added just a little bit of tack it over and over glue, put 2 thin layers on, put some glitter on, burnished it in, just to give the mushrooms that little bit of extra, and also just some little faint lines of paint pen on my leaves just to highlight them a bit. So yeah, there she is. Hopefully she's given you some inspiration to try something different, try something new. I just love how when you look down into her, I don't know if you can see all the different little things that I've put in. Oh, it's a real fantasy land. I just love it. And I love how the iridescent or the dichroic film, or however you say it, just comes through the leaves and the border. I think it turned out awesome. So I love the little background. So yeah, I definitely want to try it again and try something different. I love how she reacts under the light that I got. You can buy these from Amazon, eBay, get them in all different colours. So make sure you stay tuned for the photos, because I'll have some stills and everything. And a huge big thank you to Let's Resin for sending me that wonderful crystal ball mould. I absolutely love it. Hope you guys will give it a try. Massive big thank you to my subscribers, as always. Love you guys. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, hopefully I've earned your subscription today. And stay tuned for the photos. And also, this will be available for sale on my website. So go and check that out if you're interested in purchasing it. The other thing is, I just wanted to explain my horrible arms. So this is what the Australian sun does to your English skin. It's quite harsh. But also this is what Australian wildlife does too. You get too close. Actually, I'll show you this hand. It's probably better. Hopefully you can see that. So yeah, if you're wondering why I've always got scratches on my arms and things, it's because I play with the birds here, and I just absolutely love it. But they're quite deadly with their claws. They don't mean to be, but that's just how they are. So yeah, that's just what I've got to put up with, I guess. I just sort of explain that because I look at my videos and I go, oh my God, how terrible is my skin? But yeah, that's the harsh Aussie sun. That's what it does to English skin when your skin's usually pale and white. All right, guys. Love you lots. Thanks so much for watching. And I'll see you soon for the next one, I hope. Bye. You biting me? Ah! Oh, geez, your claws are sharp. You're right there. Look at you. You crazy bird. Crazy. Hanging upside down off my jumper. You're crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy?